Good evening. I'm Flynn, and today I'll be presenting my business process improvement proposal developed as part of the PGDIP BMA program. This presentation focuses on improving Blackstone Agency's creative services delivery through the application of business process management principles. In today's agenda, I'll start with a short executive summary, moving into company context, outlining the problem statement, and then take you through the process architecture, as-is process, analysis, redesign, and the proposed to-be process. We'll also cover stakeholder engagement, risk mitigation, strategic alignment, timelines, and finally wrap up with a conclusion. The agency is facing recurring delays in creative delivery due to inefficient processes. These include incomplete briefs, ad hoc task allocation, and weak approval cycles. The proposed solution is a redesigned to-be process supported by standardized templates, automated task allocation, and live monitoring dashboards. The expected impact includes improved utilization, faster turnaround, and higher client satisfaction, and ultimately, more sustainable profitability. Blackstone is a South African digital-first creative agency. We provide integrated marketing, design, and performance solutions. Our external environment is highly competitive and fast evolving. Three forces shape it: digital transformation, client in-housing of marketing functions, and a maturing influencer economy. In this context, faster and more consistent creative outputs are essential if we want to remain competitive. Considering Porter's five forces, rivalry is intense. Buyer power is high because clients can switch easily. Supplier power is medium high, particularly in relation to freelance talent and software platforms. Substitutes are growing with AI and automation tools, and new entrants are moderate but increasingly agile. This competitive landscape underlines the urgency for Blackstone to strengthen its core processes. Our core challenges lie in creative delivery. Current inefficiencies lead to client dissatisfaction, rework, and lower profitability. Key weaknesses include no standardized briefing templates, inconsistent task allocation, and weak approval cycles. As a result, staff utilization is reduced, service breakdowns occur, and both profits and livelihoods are threatened. Without improvement, we risk losing our competitive position and clients. This architecture highlights Blackstone's processes across three levels: management processes like strategy and governance, core processes like creative development, and support processes such as HR, finance, and systems. What this shows is that creative development, a core process, is central to client value, but also where inefficiencies currently create bottlenecks across the entire business. Here we see the as-is process for creative development. It starts with a client brief and runs through task allocation, creative production, internal review, client review, and final delivery. On paper, it looks simple, but in practice, the process is plagued by delays, incomplete briefs, inaccurate timings, and major changes in review cycles all lead to rework and missed deadlines. To understand why so many delays occurred, I applied a why analysis. We found that inaccurate lead time estimates stem from resources not being able to give reliable timings. Frequent reworks happen because creatives don't always have complete briefs. Major changes often occur in reviews because expectations weren't aligned up front. All of this points back to an absence of standardized processes. A value-added analysis confirmed these issues. Of the 8 main steps in the process, only about half directly added value to the client. Many are business value adding or non-value adding, like manual task allocation and rework loops. This shows that our current way of working wastes time and effort and reduces the value perceived by clients. The redesigned process balances quick wins with structural shifts. Quick wins include standardized briefing templates and structured review checkpoints. Structural shifts include automated task allocation and live monitoring dashboards. This combination of transactional and transformational interventions will embed efficiency, scalability, and sustainable client satisfaction into the agency's operations. In the to-be process, we see these interventions applied. The process begins with a standardized brief followed by automated task allocation to the right creative. Structured reviews reduce unnecessary back and forth. Dashboards provide live visibility into capacity, timelines, and profitability. This creates a much clearer, faster, and more accountable workflow. Of course, success depends on people. We map stakeholders using a power interest grid. Executives have high power and interest. They need to sponsor the change. Project managers have medium power but high interest. They will implement it. Creative teams are directly impacted, so engagement is critical. Clients, while external, ultimately measure the success of this process through satisfaction and retention. We identified three key risks. First was a resistance to change. This will be addressed through early engagement and clear communications of benefits. Second is technology integration risks. These will be mitigated by phased rollouts and pilot testing. And third, capability gaps. Structured training and coaching will ensure teams can adopt the new processes effectively. This proactive approach increases the likelihood of smooth adoption. Measuring against the Devil's Quadrangle, essentially time, cost, quality, and flexibility, our current process performs quite poorly. Delays averaged 10 days, client satisfaction was under 50%, rework drives high costs, and ad hoc adjustments undermine flexibility. The redesign process directly improves each measure, reducing delays, boosting satisfaction, cutting rework, and embedding consistent, flexible structures. Implementation will follow 4 phases: 1 month for a pilot with one creative team, 2 to 3 weeks for structured training, 2 to 3 months for agency-wide implementation, and ongoing monitoring. This staged rollout balances feasibility testing with capacity building and ensures adoption is embedded before scaling. To conclude, we started by identifying inefficiencies in creative delivery. We analyzed root causes around briefing, allocation, and approvals. We redesigned the process with both quick wins and structural shifts. And we now propose a to-be process that directly improves profitability, utilization, and client satisfaction. This proposal applies the BPM lifecycle to align operational improvements with Black Snow's strategic goals for growth and sustainability. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your questions and feedback.